start this episode off by shouting out our sponsor, one of our sponsors for this episode, Mimo's Restaurant. We want to thank Mimo's for for sponsoring us. They're located in Reading, PA, family owned and operated since 1997. We all know about it. We've been eating it since our 4 years at Alvernia. So hey, go down to Mimo's and tell everybody that the good guys rant sent you down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 3 of the Good Guys Rant podcast. We got Dope, Nick, and Tar here. Today we got a little bit of a fun, interactive episode for you. We got some fan mail, if you would, some DMs on Instagram. Other than that, we're going to talk a little bit about COVID and what's going to happen going forward with all these new news about leagues opening up, some positive news finally. Other than that, how we doing, fellas?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. I got a stogie. I'm out here enjoying the night. It's a good night to podcast for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm tired as hell, but I'm ready to get going.
And let's do this.
All right. Get us started, Dope.
Nah, check this. It was probably a week ago. I went on IG and just put up on one of my stories. Like, I was just asking people like what they want to hear on the podcast. So I got some responses, and one really stood out to me to talk about right now. Someone says in quotes, "I want to know the steps to scheming." Nah, yeah. So like when I saw that, I just laughed. I laughed out loud. I was like, yeah, this is definitely something I want to talk about because everyone thinks that like scheming is so elaborate. Like this, like it's like this big plan that we all got like laid out, like to make stuff happen. But I don't know. Like for me,
it's
like scheming is like just simple. Like I mean, I think almost everyone has the same kind of strategies with it.
I would say that it's probably naturally associated with AUMB. So that's
but
Buzz, true.
Big part of it, yeah.
Come on.
Buzz is the biggest scheme.
Category,
nah, man.
That's it, man. It's your category.
I lay low, man.
As of last week graduation, Buzz went into the Schemodelphia Eagles Hall of Fame.
First ballot.
Yeah, it's a pretty good honor, man. So glad to accept that.
4-time All-MAC.
Nah, but for overall, like when I think about scheming, like it's kind of it's the bid a little bit. I'll just like I'm on IG, say I'm on IG, I'm scrolling. I see someone I like, I'm like, oh, all right. Or like my boy sent me someone that looked pretty good. I'm like, oh shit. Like, all right, let's see what happens. So I go on their page. If I don't follow them, I follow them first. Then if they follow back, it's game time. Game time. First thing you gotta do, you gotta like a pick. If you like you like a pick, if she like another one, then they're like, all right, phase 1 complete. Then you got like 2. You like 2 more. Did she like 2 more? Okay, now we really getting somewhere. And then I go for 3. I like 3 in a row. If I like 3 in a row and she likes 3 in a row back, it's over. That means I gotta slide. So then right then and there,
automatically explain that those steps.
Yeah, the whole process. Yeah,
it's a little process.
I usually just skip those first 2 and just go straight to 3. See what happens. Yeah, I'm following just like 3 of them right off the bat. See what happens.
I try to just go through any pics that are like selfies and stuff and like them, because if I just like the booty picture or something, like she's gonna be like I try to like some respectful pics so she thinks I find her like really cute, and I just slide. Sometimes if they have just a snap on their IG or something, I'll just add the snap and just go from there. But if not, DM if I think they're really attractive, I just slime the DMs.
Yeah, see, that's a good point.
Okay, let's just say I'm a volume shooter.
Sometimes I be forgetting they put their snaps in their bios. So then when I actually get into the DMs and I start talking, I ask for the snap, knowing damn well I could just look in the bio and just added her. But sometimes I just forget.
It it's in my bio.
That I get a
Yeah.
couple times.
Yeah, I've
like
got
a dumbass.
I'm oldie. Yeah, I messed up.
Because I would say that I can't really speak a whole lot of volume to this, considering I'm basically married 7 years. But
Oh, you're a Buffalo Bills. Your jersey's in the
I'm
rafters.
all time Buffalo Bill. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I can say I can talk about a little bit of a story that it's actually how I found my girlfriend. So I guess it's all right then. Back in the day, so we started dating sophomore year. My friends, shout out to Jake and Evan real quick. We used to go to Jake's house, and about every other week we would set something up that we'd have different groups of girls that we try to hang out with. So they used to call me Megamind, and I'd be in charge of hitting them up and setting up the plans. And that's actually how like I said, how I met my girlfriend. So we used to sneak over to her house at 2 a.m. and hop in the hot tub. So I also got the nickname Hot Tub Honey from her father, her parents. So long story short, went over in the hot tub in the snow, 3 a.m, got caught. They came down, we went home, and then we ended up dating 2 weeks later, and the rest is kind of history. So that was a little bit of my my scheming days. But choose the Megamind picture right over my face right
Yeah,
now.
I got you.
Did you guys ever get caught like that at a girl's house? Like parents catch you?
Nah, I can't say I've been caught.
I got out of there before they could see me, but they knew something was up, that their daughters were awake at 3 a.m. in the hot tub. So
Yeah. What about you, Tar? You been caught?
Not caught, but the parents did come home like one time.
Yeah.
Like I had to hide. That was
Where you hide?
closet. And then like once the coast was clear, like she stuck me out the back.
See, that's what I'm saying. I could never really be in that situation. I feel like I would easily get caught. Like I just make a wrong move, make some noise. Like they'd be like, "What the hell is that?" And it's done deal.
Yeah.
yeah, dude,
I ain't
Pretty
really
risky.
sneaky like that.
say, Joe, you're too damn big to hide. I can imagine you trying to hide and just completely fold, ruin the operation.
Hey yo, nah, I seen this picture. I seen this video on Twitter where like I see this video on Twitter where the dude's with a girl, and then her mom comes in. Like her mom comes in, the guy puts a lampshade over his head, like acting like he's hiding, acting like he's a lamp. I'm watching this like, bro, there's no way that like that you think you can get away with that. And then the mom comes in the room and goes, like, looks pretty weird in here. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like something's out of place. And the daughter's like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I think everything is exactly how you left it. And then she walks over to the guy, like, that has the lampshade on over his head. And, like, he has the lampshade on, and the light, the thing that you pull the turn on, he acts like he's a lamp. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. Like it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, these people are nuts on social media, making stuff up like this.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Nah, man, scheming. It's a great sport, man. I could say a lot of my time is a lot of my time I've earned spent scheming. Had some good schemes, some bad schemes. I can say
win
we
them
all
all,
had
man.
our moments. Tar over there quiet. I know he had some Vern scheme stories.
You know half of them.
You know there's half that I don't know.
Yeah, spill the beans, Tar. Let's hear them.
About my L's? There's Nah, I'm not gonna get into details on that. but you can go.
What you say?
Go ahead. Talk about your
What, my scheming career?
Yeah,
like Dote said, you know, there's some good ones, some bad ones. I'm not gonna go into detail, but y'all know what it is.
I've definitely made a lot of mistakes, I'll admit. Definitely. Mistake.
I'm right there with you.
Not gonna lie.
I wake up the next morning, I'm like, oh shit, I really just did that. Yeah, I'm tripping. I'm gonna hear about this later on from my boy. Nah, those are the days, man. I'm gonna miss them.
You said
Can't
this.
act like that no more.
You said this question was from Gabby, right?
Yeah.
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 I had a crazy experience with her once, where we ended up on a 9-hour drive to New York from Mount Vernon because of a snowstorm. And then once we got to New York, we were caught in traffic for like 5 hours because there was a car on fire in the middle of the street. It was like the craziest thing ever. Like, you can't make it up. we had to pee on in the highway. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was like 2 p.m. to like 9 p.m. We were driving to New York. It was, yeah, that was nuts.
Damn, like I have a similar story like that going like when I was going to Philly, but I don't think I was stuck in traffic for 5 hours, but it felt like 5 hours. It was more like probably like it was like 2. Like I was trying to go back home, and we going to Philly, and then this is this massive traffic, and then I see cars zooming by on the other side. I'm like, damn, I wish I was on the other side right now. Turned out when we finally got all the way up there, there was like a truck was on fire or something. It was something ridiculous. You know, like, of course this would happen when I'm trying to go home. It makes no damn sense. I had to pee so bad. I got out the car, ran over to the barrier, started pissing on the wall. It was crazy. I heard cars honking. I was like, yeah, I was like, oh, shit, probably see me. Man, traffic's the worst. Glad I don't drive.
What else in the mailbag? You got something from Tim Tone, number 1?
Tim Tone,
number 1
supporter. No, he definitely said something. He said he wants to know about bar stories. The bar. Oh my God, I'm telling you, like, people thought the bar was like crazy this year. But when I first started going my junior year, there was nothing like that. Like you had to get to the bar like at least an hour and a half like earlier than what we were going this year. Like if you didn't go get there at 11, you were not getting in. Like there was a line starting at 11 at Legends.
Yeah.
Well, you guys like to show up at 11:30, and it always made me so damn mad. I'm like, what's the point? Why you show up at 11:30?
Sometimes we would definitely fool with that. Like we would definitely show up too late.
This year we were going at, we wouldn't even start getting ready until 12.
You making that
wet? Not 12, and we still get in.
Oh yeah, I mean when you go there so much though, you learn you know the bouncers. Yeah, we just walk up. They're like, yo, what's good? They just walk right in. Don't even take our IDs anymore.
They like all of us except Henny. Henny still gets your jeans have holes in it or can't wear that sweater.
I don't understand him though. Like they told him 3 times like those jeans like you can't wear them. Then he's like, then you still wear them? Like you get what you get. Nah, but like. I realized that though, like you really gotta get there early. I mean, it didn't matter in the later years because like the bar scene kind of like the amount of people that went kind of died. But like at first, if you didn't get there early, number 1, you weren't gonna get in, and number 2, all the schemes are gonna be gone. Like there's nothing. You ain't gonna be there. You can't scheme at all. Like everyone's gonna already be grabbed, taken, dancing with somebody out.
Half the chicks are either grabbed or they just leave early. So like by the time you get there, 12 something, any chicks that are there are gonna be with someone, or them that won't dance with anybody. So like you really screwed. And it's the same chicks every week, so you're kind of screwed.
Nah, if there's one thing I regret about the bar, it was just like not going to like more different like areas, like locations. Like I went to Philly a couple of times, but like I felt like I stayed in Redmond too much. I should have went out and seen other bars. Definitely folded on that one.
Philly bars are so damn fun. Like I just last year I went to like I think it was called Porta or whatever. It was like a club, but like
Porta. I've been there.
Predominantly like our age, and it was just. I mean, drinks are expensive, but if you're having a night out in Philly, you're gonna spend some money regardless. But my friends and we had a really good time there. It was crazy.
No, I love it.
We
The
definitely
Philly scene is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely wish we could have got to see some other places besides Reading, besides Legends and Building 24, which unfortunately got shut down anyways. But the only other place I really was in Miami when we went there this year. And to be honest,
Oh,
Legends was better than that. So
Yeah.
bro, I don't know. I feel like we went on the wrong night there.
You
Like,
yeah,
definitely
we might have.
wrong place, wrong night. Because
I mean,
Miami
we were only looking places like within walking distance too. If we would have like adventured out more, we probably could have found something better. But I mean, it is what it is.
bro, that bar was out of pocket, bro. They had a room like everyone was in there smoking
Smoking
cigs and, like,
cigarettes in the
I was
bar.
like, I looked
We
around. I was like, I don't even want to be
like
here.
it was because of Light. Like Light would always want to stay at Alvernia, like because he had moves there that he wanted to, like, you know what I mean. So he would always stay at Alvernia, and then he'd suck us all into going with him at Alvernia. And we like, after let's just go to Alvernia then, and we'd stay every time.
Definitely, that definitely.
So, come on, yo, I'll buy you a couple shots. Come on.
Yeah, shots on me. I'm like, can't say no to that.
Shout out to Light.
He always wanted to do the safe thing because he knew he had girls that he talked to that would be at Legends of Building. So like he'd rather do that than just go anywhere else where he had to like start from scratch and just because it is harder. Like you go somewhere you're not accustomed to, you don't know anybody. You gotta like literally bag a chick, like like you can't just if you had Legends or Building, like the chicks, you talk to them, you probably go to school with them, you probably talk to them every week. So like you probably literally have moves you know are there that you can like hang out with and maybe go back with. Like
yeah, but I feel like though, like if we went to different spots where we didn't know anybody, like that could have been easier for us to just completely draw, act like maniacs, and get attention that way.
I agree. Some people,
because I mean, you can't act like that really with people you know, because then you're gonna get recorded, and then you're gonna say that for later, post that, you're gonna look bad.
Some people
I got some bad moments.
I think, but I feel like some people, like they just not comfortable actually being around people they know and just starting combo. Like they'd rather do the safe thing and just, I know this girl, so let me go talk to her like I did last week. Rather than you see this hot chick you've never seen in your life, you don't know anything about her. You literally got to go and throw your bag and like get your A game out there and just try to bag her because you have no idea who she is. She doesn't know you. Like for AUMB, I feel like you're at an advantage when you're at the bar because like even if they don't know you, like because they know you're like play on the team and stuff, it's like all right, like they're gonna give you a shot, like they'll hear you out. Yeah. But like if you were just at a random spot, like they don't care if you average 15 at the Vern, like they don't know what the Vern is. Really, like you gotta literally use your personality and get with a girl, like.
Speaking of which, so I remember a couple of times, like what you just mentioned, like Building 24. There were like, you know how like the old heads like to hang out like the front bar.
Yeah,
I remember when I went there a couple of times. Like, I believe, it was like junior year, so it was like after I was done playing. But there was like a couple of like Alvernia alums there, so and they just knew like from basketball, and they bought like me and a couple friends some drinks and stuff like that. That was really an advantage in more than just a couple ways, like just AUMB status and like just being out around people. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's for sure. Definitely go up to Legends a couple times. Like you got people there that have been at the games. They see you. They walk up to you like, "Oh my God, you play so good in the game the other day." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." I had zero, but hey, I'll take it.
Those I know you guys. I'm talking about too, because I remember being around you guys when you guys start really getting going and like. People go up to you guys, girls, and they'd be like, "Oh, you play for Alvernia," literally, and they talk to you guys like they knew you, and you're like, "Dang, they know who I am. I only know you from IG pics."
Yeah. Sometimes I have no idea who they are at all, and that's the worst part. I'll be looking at it, they're like, "Yeah, this and that." I'll be like, "Yeah, right. I don't know you." All right, I keep the convo going. I think it's the worst. I think it's the worst. I honestly think it's the worst with dudes though. Like dudes really will come up to you and act like they know who you are, like off of like just being at games sometimes, and then like they'll see you play on the team or something. They come up to you like you're the boy or something, like try to dap you up. And I'm like, yeah, like what's up? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Y'all got
know you.
a glimpse of the Berks County sports buzz, man. It's like everyone knows everyone. So if you do good, they know who you are. And like Berks, Alvernia, Albright, Kutztown, like those teams, like in Berks County, like everyone follows those teams. So like they're gonna know who you are if you don't even know. Like you go to LA Fitness, you go to the store, someone might know who you are. Like it's just how it is. You'll be at the park, they'll be like, "You play for Alvernia, right?" You be like, "Who the heck are you?" That's literally how it can be. It's how it is, man. Especially high school sports, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like for schools that are in Berks County, it's like,
Oh, for sure. I went to a couple of high school games. Like you took me to a Muhlenberg game, like, and I'm looking around in the crowd. I'm like, God damn, like these games are packed. Like my high school games, like some of my high school games were packed, but like they were never like sold out. Like that Muhlenberg game we
oh,
went to,
we had to sit on
we were sitting on the steps. I'm like, are you kidding me? They played Redden, yeah. I think they played Redden.
I remember the game this year. I thought you guys went to the one at Muhlenberg Mifflin. That game was packed too.
Yeah, that was pretty packed too.
I went to the game at Mifflin. Yeah, that game wasn't as packed, but Mifflin's gym for that gym is huge. I've never been in there before. That gym was huge. It would definitely seat a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say to Tara, I wish I went to school in Berks County. I would have been the maniac.
Nah, yeah, there's a lot of girls around here. I'm not gonna lie. So like, talk about the scheming part. Good. You'll definitely be known a little bit. It'll be easier for you.
Now, from knowing some of you Berks County guys and then looking at what you guys looking at who you guys follow, and I'm like, whoa, like wait, you went to school with her? I'm like, damn. And then I start following them, and then the Berks County guys are like, yo, how you know her? I'm like, I just see you followed her. She looked good, so try to follow. That's how it goes with me.
Shout out TikTok.
No, don't even get me started on TikTok. I don't even. Oh my God, I was so against TikTok downloading it, and one day I was just like, if this quarantine never happened, I definitely would never have downloaded it. But I don't regret downloading it after what I see.
Neither do I.
Bro,
I told myself I wasn't gonna get one, and I just folded, and now I can't stop.
I don't know. I might have to cave though. I might have to get it.
Yeah, bro.
I was being an old head. I was being an old head. I was like, man, come on. TikTok, what is that? Like, it's a joke. Like, kids dancing to BS. Like, it's lame. And then I got on. I was like, whoa, this is not what I expected.
Yeah, sure. Nah, the dances be cool, but then sometimes they'll get put on the songs by it too. Like it's funny. Like I would have never listened to that. Like I listened to the Baby's album the first time through. Like I just listened to it. Like I didn't really find that many songs that were that tough. But then everyone started dancing to Rockstar, and then I was like, I guess I gotta give this song another chance. And I listened to it. I was like, this song really is like a banger.
Oh, bro. Yeah. It's so popular now that artists are literally making songs that can benefit through TikTok. And they're making songs for TikTok so they can get buzz off it and get views off it. Money.
Yeah, Slide.
Every single Meg Thee Stallion song.
Oh my God.
Literally. Almost every now he's trying to do it too. Yeah,
I feel like Drake was always on that wave though, trying to make he definitely he'll make songs that are designated for certain spots. Like he definitely is making songs that were the 100% gonna be getting played in the bar. It's kind of nuts. The thing about these dudes are smart. They trying to get as much buzz as possible. So they'll just do anything to get it. Days like this, I wish I was a rapper. I got no rhythm though. I can't rap.
As shit as man, just need one song to boom.
No, he's serious. If he can get one good song, he can. Dudes make money off of one song and then you'll never hear of them again. They just fall off the face of the earth.
Back you up money wise, economically, financially, they need to back you up. And if you have the money behind it, you can make it work.
Yeah, for sure. Man.
I got bars.
Let's hear some.
Yeah,
Come on.
we got to get a
You said you got bars. I'm
4-bar.
putting you on the spot.
I got my one tooth. I got my mouth. The thing in my mouth, it's like I messed up, so I can't really speak the way I want to. Like my flow messed up.
All right.
I would definitely be spitting bars right now.
I heard Reed got some bars in the cut.
I got you. I got to think about it a little bit though.
No one can get put on the spot. I already said I can't rap, so I'm not even gonna try to.
One of these episodes, I'm gonna bring the speaker out and I'm gonna get some instrumentals going. I got you guys. I got some bars.
You all right?
You definitely gotta get. You said what?
We should all write a 32.
Let's do
it.
I gotta be off the Henny for that one though.
The Henny, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seen you had the Henny Colada Tar the other day. How was it? Henny Colada, however you said it. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I've
never seen that before.
Coach, trainer Springs, shout out Springs. He put me on to his boy. Had was making them like the Hennessy and pina colada. I guess they just mix it, and it was okay. It wasn't really like strong, so like I don't know if he really put much Hennessy in it. So
yeah,
but it tasted good. I didn't get any drunk off of it. So I mean, I recommend it. Though it's not that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of expensive.
How much?
Well, me and Henny split a gallon for $50. So
like it came in at like the $80 bottle, like the big bottle.
$80 bottle, $50, yeah. But then he has $10 like cups that are like probably like this big. Big or not on the screen, I can't tell. But yeah, it's like you know how like a Rita's has like all right, how about this? You know how like they have medium drinks at the most of the fast food spots like Chick-fil-A and stuff? It's the size of that medium cup.
Yeah.
The $10. So
man.
Henny said 2 of those got messed up from another place, but it's pretty good though. I mean, it's not bad to me.
Yeah.
I gotta get back on my drinking wave when this quarantine over, man. I'm tired of COVID. COVID been messing up a lot of things.
So you guys want to get into this COVID, man? I think it might end soon. I'm not sure. I'm hearing like mixed reviews about if it's gonna end or not. Some people say it's basically gonna be over soon. Some people say it's not gonna really be over till like August, September. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Reed has put on here what he thinks gonna happen.
I can tell you. So I've been following along every single day. So the past like 2.5 months since we completely like wanted to shut down and whatnot. So I've been following along with total like number totals. I have notifications from the Rennie Eagle per day about how many more people contracted the coronavirus, and the last 3 days have been, or last 4 days, I believe, have been under 40 people. Yesterday we had 16 new people, and then today we had 33. So it's kind of hard to follow the trend. I just think of it as like, if there's still 33 people going out there and getting it and getting diagnosed with it as of last night at midnight, that to me is kind of unsettling, because like you go out and now granted Berks County is huge, right? But still like 33 people, like how far into this whole process we're at, it's kind of like I said, unsettling. You go out to one event, things open up. That's how the second wave starts. So I think we're going to probably need to see that number continuously go down and down and down. But like I said, for now, it's definitely looking better than it was like a week or two ago. But I think we'll probably see a spike in the numbers just because Memorial Day and a lot of people were going out and seeing people. Like we saw the video. Sorry, the idiots over in the Ozarks. You saw the videos of that. Like they're on top of each other, and you don't need to do it. You can go see your friends, like practice social distancing and whatnot. But like, I don't think there's a need for that. Wouldn't be surprised to see a report later in the week saying how many more people out west have it and what are just those hot spots like we saw down in Florida. Yeah. I think we're definitely in the right direction. We can't slip up too early. So
Yeah.
To elaborate on that, Kaba, my friend Kaba, you guys know him too. He was at Ocean City, Maryland this past weekend, and he said it was like packed. Like stores were closed. Some stores were closed besides eating food stores, but like it was as if it was a regular like summer day, like no quarantine. Like people were walking around all over. Like it was packed. He said so. And then Nick Henson, our boy Nick, he went to New York, and he said he visited his dad, and his dad was like, "Yeah, like it's really empty around here nowadays." And he said when he was out there were people all over the place. He was in traffic. It was people walking, like thousands of people walking on the streets, and his dad was like, "Yeah, it's empty out there. It's a nice feeling." It's crazy. No wonder New York has like the most numbers, because like quarantine for them is still thousands of people on the street. It's still a busy day for Reading. Like,
Yeah.
so like it's still like he can't. I don't know if it's gonna get better if you talk about people like that, because I mean I do delivery sometimes, and sometimes I'll see people all over the place. Sometimes in Reading, I'll see people walking around like no masks, no nothing. Like I was like, all right,
it's nuts. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I've been seeing like numbers have been dropping like recently, like the numbers have been dropping, but like there's still like instances like you'll see like videos on social media like just in certain areas like people are getting together like large numbers like numbers that's like ridiculous. Like academics posted on Instagram. He got a video of people in Camden going nuts. I live like 5 minutes from Camden. I'm like, what are these guys doing? Like I understand it's like Memorial Day weekend. Like everyone's gonna be like out like barbecues, all that stuff. Like, but come on, like you can be running around in the streets like you got no sense of what's actually going on out there. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
People are throwing parties. People are getting haircuts. Like they're just doing whatever. Like people are going about their days. Like so, I don't know if they should or shouldn't, what they should do or not. I have no idea about the situation. But if their whole plan was to just completely isolate everybody so that we don't spread this until we get things figured out, I don't think this is gonna ever fully go away, because it's gonna be impossible to get everyone to fully isolate because people are just crazy. Like people don't get, some people just don't
really
like it's not my age group, like, or like I don't have any grown-ups, like they just don't care, like they just gonna live.
I mean, like we gotta like eventually like I mean it's gonna come with some risk. Like like it's never gonna fully be like solved. So like we're gonna have to go out there and like just risk it like because we gotta keep this shit going at some point in time. Like we can't just be we can't be hiding forever. Like, you gotta like that's why I mean like that's the only thing I agree with. Like we gotta like I mean like we gotta start something, but like you can't be going out in a mass crowd or like you can't be just making crowds in the middle of the streets like trying to set things up. Like that is not productive at all. Like
one more point to that. It's like kind of grim and negative, but I was listening to like I don't know how I just got onto like a medical podcast talking about COVID, and what they were saying is that this strand, like I don't know if this is 100% accurate. Like I'm just kind of quoting what I remember, but they were saying that this strand kind of replicates itself, and it's one of the most unique strands of like viruses and whatnot that they don't know if they're ever going to feel confident getting a vaccine. And that's the scary part, that we slowly get back to normal. Things are looking good. September comes around. We have large crowds. We have like sporting events, college football tailgates, NFL games, NFL tailgates. And then all of a sudden it just spikes back up again. It kind of feels like we're not doing ourselves any favor. And like I said, the medical professionals, the most brilliant people in the world, can't get this like vaccine, which I'm not discrediting. I'm saying it's obviously really hard to do, but compared to other pandemics, like they look at those viruses or germs that were causing the pandemics themselves, is that it was so simple compared to this one. So that's the unsettling, scary part for me, that the progress isn't really being made, and this might be the new normal for a little while. So
I can't. I mean, when I'm home, I don't really ever go out. But like, this is like an extreme. Like, I feel like I can't leave my house. Like, I feel trapped. So I understand like when people like think they had the ability to like go out, like they'll go out and go wild, but like at the same time, it's like just be smart with it.
Yeah.
Like we all like just people. There's other like lives that you got to factor into it. Like
Yeah.
like grandmas and like grandparents, and then like you don't want to like hand that to them, and then like it's not. I don't know.
100,000. 100,000. That's the death mark we've passed, and that to me is just
like I understand what people are saying when it comes to like, all right, like if we just completely stay home forever, like and just don't do it, don't continue, our economy is gonna like really, really suffer. I understand that, and I understand some people like have necessity to leave their houses to like keep food on the table and everything like that. Like they have to leave their house. I'm just speaking for like some people don't have any real responsibilities right now outside of their house. Like they're probably online school, their job could be online, or they don't have a job. Like there is no real need for them to go outside.
Yeah.
Those people, like I'm seeing them go outside just to do random stuff all day long. Like they're acting like they're like nothing's going on. Those are people that scare me. I'm like, you're gonna have them no matter what. That's gonna be the problem. Like, if you have a job that you have to go out for, or you just, whatever circumstances are where you're forced to leave your house, fine. But if everything you're doing can be done inside your house, like, and you're leaving just to go on vacation or just to get haircuts and just go try to party somewhere, hang out with people, it's like, all right, like, come on, like, is this really necessary? That's the only thing. But, and those people I feel like are just, the way the world goes, they're gonna be around. They're never gonna fully accept that they should be. They're not gonna care enough. So
right. And Tar, with that point, those are the same exact people during spring break when everyone was like, this is getting serious. Those are the same idiots we see on TV down in Florida with hundreds of thousands of other kids like, yeah, we're not going to let this ruin our spring break. Like, we're in college. Like, this is our last year to get – like, it's just selfishness. And it's the same exact people. And like you said, we're always going to have that. And I don't know – it's almost like you can't – like, America, you can't tell people exactly what to do. But, like, we're just going to have people who aren't going to follow – what they should be doing. That's the difference. So I don't know.
Yeah. Like, you can advise someone to do something as much as you can, but at the end of the day, it's their choice to make, and they gotta live with whatever consequences come with that. But usually, when the consequences come, then they'll start complaining about the stuff that's going on. And I'm like, why didn't you just listen when someone told you the first time not to do it? Like nothing, you wouldn't even be in this situation. It's kind of what it's weird.
That's what people were telling. Like, to elaborate on what Reed was saying, like those people that were saying that stuff, there were people that when this was all going on, they were like, you know what, like it only affects the older people. Like, I'm gonna live my life. I'm 20. Like, just tell old people to stay to quarantine. That's what they were saying, and they're living by it for sure. I mean, on yachts, parties, clubs. Hey, do your thing.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. we live in a funny world these days, man.
Yeah, I never really looked into like the stats enough, so I just like followed what I was told the rules were and just let people do what they want to do. But I was like, all right, I don't know what's really going on, but I was told if you're not doing anything that's of legit demand, just stay home. So that's what I did. Yeah, I just let whoever wants to disobey that, I let them do that because I'm not gonna. I don't know. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna say?
I'm gonna put the R in rant here. I got an issue. I got a bone to pick. What's up with all the conspiracy theorists out there saying that this shit's like what would the benefit be to this being made up? Like the stats being fabricated, and like why would we want to essentially put our own country and the world in turmoil? Like I that pisses me off. Like the people who are saying this is fake, and like I don't, what's fake about this? Like I don't.
I feel like just
you probably talking to the raw guys because
I
We're
don't
not.
really believe in
So
conspiracy
we don't
theories.
know. I really
Yeah,
don't.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. Though. Like we're all on the same page. Like what would be the benefit to making this up?
nah,
Yeah,
I don't.
I
That's what
don't.
I'm saying. I have no idea. Like, I don't know. Like, we just like our economy goes so bad. Like, then it can like only get better. They might even get better. Like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, anytime like something like of this magnitude, like it's like a lot of like a magnifying thing happens like in the world. Like, I always see like there's always people that come up and say, "Oh, this ain't actually going on. This is just conspiracy theory. This blah 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 blah." I'm like, come on, man. Like, I don't understand. Like, no one. I don't feel like. I feel like people really aren't thinking that way. Like, to like who's trying to like set people up? Who want? Why would we want to? Why would we want people to stay home and not work? Like,
Yeah,
and
Right.
not make money and not make
Right.
their lives better. Like, I don't understand that.
We're at 21% unemployment and it's rising. So like again,
Some of the theorists think it has to do with like I know they think it has to do with the you know, dropping off the population a little bit, but I don't. I never get into the conspiracy. I don't like look into the conspiracy stuff.
What is this? Avengers?
I'm
Thanos?
not agreeing with them. I'm just saying I don't look into any of that stuff enough to know if what they're saying has any type of truth into it. So I just let them have their opinions and just that's it. I don't really try to delve into it because I'm not gonna sit here and really look into this stuff. I just say F it. I don't really feel like I'd just rather just
yeah. So you look at the conspiracy theories, and then like the reasoning is that they'll put behind it, and like the research they do, and all like the quotes they take from people and all that stuff. And I'm just reading this, and I'm like, shit doesn't make any type of sense. Like, I don't understand like why people would want to go to this extent to like make something up. Like, like we find out tomorrow that this like COVID never existed. Like, we were just living like this for no reason. Like, what there's like you said earlier, Reed, like we gained absolutely nothing from it. like that makes no sense to me. Like, why that would be.
And that's where I find it very disrespectful because there's somebody we know who's been affected by this. Like either whether they were just in the hospital for a couple of days, I've known my parents have friends whose like stepson has been in like a coma for a couple of days, and I know people who like know people who died. So it's like I find it really disrespectful that like on a more serious note that like people are going to go and say this is made up when there's literally people dropping. It's like to me that's
what I'm saying.
I never. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen the ones that are like they made it up. Obviously, people say like that we like that, like not us, but like America, like purposefully, like let it get into them, like stuff like that, like purposely got it into America for it to happen. I never see people say that it's literally fake, but either way, I just kind of don't really. I just keep scrolling.
No, it was just a quick, yeah, me too. I mean, it was just a quick rant. I've been seeing more and more of it, just like whether it's just like a random article or a random tweet that somebody likes, it just rubs me the wrong way. I just felt the need to say that because, like I said, I just find it disrespectful that people are going to go to that extent when there's literally 100,000 people plus dead, unless they're lying about those numbers, like the Spears, like they say. But that's my point.
Same thing with 9/11, man. They used to say the same thing about 9/11. To this day, you have people out there who think 9/11 was
a setup.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember 9/11, to be honest with you guys. I was too young, but I don't know if you guys were. You guys old heads, Reed.
I just remember waking up. I was like I was my last year of preschool, so I was 5. I just remember waking up and hearing my mom like on the phone, like crying, and my dad was running to the school to pick up my siblings, and just watching the news and seeing just like the explosions and stuff. But I like obviously you can't grasp it at that age, but I just remember like the pure like scared and like the plane in Pennsylvania. Like it's like 2 hours from here. Like that stuff's.
Yeah, I was living in New York at the time, but the earliest like national crazy event that happened that I was able to remember was probably Osama dying. I was in school for that, and like we like ended school and watched the news like in class. Like I'm in music class and we're watching the news on this. Like it was crazy. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Also, this is definitely a lot less serious. But I remember being like, we were talking about that in school, like Michael Jackson. That I'm like, Michael Jackson, dude, this is a big deal. It's an artist, but they made it seem like he was Jesus or something. I was like, all right.
Nah, he was like he was like, I seen a tweet that said like he was he was like the most famous person ever. Like I seen a picture like a literal, it was like probably like 10,000 people like
I seen that picture
standing outside of his hotel room. Like it was insane like how many people tried to like
same with Kobe,
just interact with him.
Kobe,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
But nah, Osama crazy though, bro. Osama thing was like, we literally ended school for that. Like with the people do conspiracies about that too. They say like that was fake, but that was, I remember that. Like I vividly remember that. Like the 9/11, I was literally like 3, 4. So, but
I mean, like on a brighter note of like just school stopping, it's like like school being stopped from things. Like I remember like when Obama won the election, like in 08, like, I remember like I was in a computer class and like we literally stopped everything we were doing to like watch his inauguration speech. Like everything that was going on, we just stopped it and we watched the speech.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that, dude. That was just big because I remember like obviously, though we're like African Americans and like
first black president.
And talked to me about this. Like he was like, yo, like you better take advantage of this. Like this guy being elected. Like how big of a deal it was. Like this is your chance. Like to make something because like you're gonna. I was like, I didn't know what he's talking about because I was like 10, or 9, but like we really thought of this as like, yo, this is gonna be the golden age for African Americans. Like you got to figure out a way to take advantage of having a black president. Like, and then now we have Trump, and I kind of see what he means a little bit, but but still, it was crazy at that time.
It's crazy though. Like you gotta say that like taking advantage of like having an African American in like office. Like you got like us as like African Americans, we gotta like take advantage of that. Like it's kind of weird in a sense. Like I feel like it should not be that way. I feel like the opportunity should always be there for us to like to strive and prosper. But like it just gets taken away from us sometimes for reasons that make no sense to me. Like we're talking like now we're talking about what's his name, George Floyd. Like I don't get it. I really don't get it at all. At least I mean, you can't blame every cop. Like not every cop doesn't think the same way, like or react the same to like what's going on. But like I just don't see how like these cops that are doing this shit aren't getting like more serious like treatment. Like
can you elaborate on it though? Because I didn't like I watched maybe 20 seconds of the one video when he was on the ground and the cop was on top of him, but like I didn't get to really like dive into the story yet because I just found out about it today. Like, could you elaborate on exactly what we're talking about, like entire story?
I mean, I don't honestly don't even know the whole story either, but I just remember that. I just remember that like I just know from what I've seen like they were going like they were arresting him like obviously they were arresting him and like he was already on the ground like compliant in handcuffs and everything like all they had to do was just pick him up, put him in a car and take him away. Like that's like just common protocol, like just do what you got to do. But then like you see in the video the one guy's like has his knee like on his neck, like just pressed on his neck for like 8 minutes, and like as he's sitting there with his like on his knee and then like with his knee in his neck, and then like he's literally telling the guy like I cannot breathe, like can you please like get off of me, like I can't breathe. Like, and he just he stood there, he just stayed there, and like then he obviously like he died because he couldn't fucking breathe. So like I don't. Shoot.
They said that the original complaint as to why he was getting arrested, which still to me isn't even a reason to arrest somebody, that they said that when he was buying something from a store around there and apparently the check was bad, and I guess he walked out like with whatever he got, so they called the cops. And my mom was saying that she saw another video that he was like detained, everything was going fine, but then it just cuts off. And that's my question. So one, you're getting arrested for a bad check, like speculation of a bad check. And then two, how do you go from being detained and fined to the video where we saw where he was eventually killed? And then the other fact is that they lied about how he died at first. They said he died after he was already in the car. No, you could see him die on the ground when they pulled him, when they finally got off of him and pulled him, he was not conscious and he was dead at that point. The officer literally killed him, and they tried to hide and lie about that, which is
Yeah.
This type of stuff I don't understand. Like how, and then like how these, like how the people involved in this are like somehow like they don't get the punishment they deserve for like the shit that's going on. Like yeah, like okay, like you can fire them, but like these people should be in jail. Like people are out here murdering and getting away and like not facing the consequences to the full extent that they
I
deserve.
saw the video.
I don't understand that.
Man, like I feel as though like what my father had told me about all those years ago, like take advantage of having a black president, but we're 4 years after his last presidency and we're still dealing with the same stuff we were dealing with before. So
nothing's changed. Like I'm seeing a lot of rappers were dropping lyrics about like the stuff like that's happening. Like I was listening to a Meek song earlier today, and like the album's from 3 years ago, and he's dropping lyrics about like how cops are killing black guys, how cops are killing the African Americans, and like it's still going on today. Like it isn't like nothing is changed. Like nothing's going on to help us in any way. And I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel safe.
And a good point too is that like people were still complaining too about Kaepernick taking it. Like that was the whole point. And people are still complaining, and like that's his message. Like that's what he was bringing light to. And people wanted to pick fights with Kaepernick, and he got blackballed from the league for it. And it's like all of it going in together. It just doesn't make any sense. And too many people have too much hate, and it's just
And people are still trying to justify him being blackballed. Like it still has some meaning to it. Like now with this, everyone's just seeing like. Come on, like you can't honestly think that like he really like he deserved the treatment he got at the time. Like it's weird.
You know, one thing I regret from our Auburn basketball days, I remember our freshman year. I don't know if you were part of this group or not. I remember I was talking to Hank and a couple other people, and we were talking about this is right at the beginning of the Kaepernick stuff,
right?
And about if we should kneel. And then we all basically chickened out. Like we're just like, nah, we're just gonna follow by the little system we have and not try to intervene with anything. But like I look back on it, that's what we should have done. Every single African American athlete, I think, should have went with Kaepernick and kneeled. Every sport, every athlete. That's the only way we would have had a voice. Because one person isn't gonna be enough. As much as he's trying, like you need if every single NBA player, every single African American football player, every single African baseball, soccer, hockey, college athletes, high school, if we all kneeled, then now they have to hear us. I mean, now the strength in numbers. But at the time we were all just, let's just play ball, and it's sad what's happening to him. He's getting blackballed, but like we still trying to we don't want to get in trouble. I think an Albright player tried something.
Yeah, Albright football player.
And then we like, now let's check it out.
Yeah, but, that's what I'm saying. We saw that happen with like Albright players. Like Albright players like decided to take a stand and take a knee, and then we saw that like they all got kicked off. Like they just got stripped of the opportunity to play the sport that they really love. And like we were talking about doing it, but like we didn't want that same exact thing to happen to us. So like we just kind of brushed it off and said, we'll think about it, but I mean we're not really.
I'm not saying we're
actually
wrong.
Do it.
I'm not saying we were wrong, because obviously we love basketball. Like that's something we wanted to do. Like we didn't want to get that taken away from us. But if we did want real change, which we did, I mean, I feel like that's something that more athletes should have like looked at and tried to follow. Like they weren't enough. I feel like so many people thought like us, like, nah, we're not going to do anything to possibly risk this, even if it means the greater good. In the long run, we want to play, like, so we don't want to do anything to risk it. But if we had more people trying to step up and make a difference, we could have, something could have changed.
Yeah. Like, we don't have the like the platforms like the pros do, like to really make ourselves heard, like
if
pros
Bron,
can.
like
like Brian, KD or somebody like went out there and like did something. But like, I mean, at the same time, like it doesn't even matter. Like we gotta, like if we really want something to happen, like we gotta just take the reins and like try to make something happen on our own too. Like we can't just wait for those guys with the platforms to do something. We can create our own platform and try to.
I mean, they didn't have a platform, but they were heard. Everyone knew their story at the time. Like,
that definitely was big news.
Little bit, but it's a difference. That has to be the mindset. It's not about how much of a difference can I make. It's about, can I make any at all?
Yeah.
I think you can.
What you want to leave? What you want to leave? What impact you want to leave when you go on?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the material things, they're gonna be there, but it's not always gonna. Material things are material things. They're gone when you're gone. So you want to leave like a long lasting impact on people for years to come.
Yeah, I don't judge anyone who does, like, in terms of like the Kaepernick kneeling. I clearly don't judge him for kneeling, but I also don't judge the people who prioritize what they want to do in life, because I do also agree that in life you do have to be a little bit selfish in terms of like, this is your life, this isn't anybody else's. So if you really, really value, you worked hard your whole life to play basketball or football, and you don't want to risk your career over it, and that's your decision. I can't tell you you're wrong. You worked since you were a little kid to be able to play college or professional basketball, and now like I have to demand that you kneel knowing that it can end your career. Like, that's your decision. I can't tell you you're wrong for saying that, but I also agree that I think what Kaepernick is doing, I think that was right as well. Like, I think both sides, whether you choose to kneel or choose not to, it's on the person, but strengths and numbers definitely was the issue, I feel like. So if Kaepernick had more support behind it, he had some support a little bit, but if he had way more numbers do what he did, there would have been no way. Because I mean, let's be honest, it's not like Kaepernick was like, Tom Brady at the time doing it. If we had the Tom Brady's or the LeBron Jameses of the world, or the who else is in the league, like the Aaron Rodgers, you think they go? I don't know if they're gonna blackball all of those guys. I don't know. I don't think they'd be able to. But we didn't have anybody like that. So
and then they I mean, like now like he's completely screwed. Like I don't think I honestly believe like he can't ever play in the NFL again. Like, because any team that brings him in is just gonna bring a whole circus with it.
And they're gonna start saying he's just not good enough because he's gonna get old soon.
So like you saw when he had the workout, like
like this,
the workout was just it was like a publicity stunt. Like bro, no one's actually gonna sign him.
His was gonna be a couple of years ago, where like he was still gonna be in his prime if they were gonna give him a shot. Like, if they waited any longer now, it's like, all right, we don't even gonna have a season next year. But then after next year, it's like, come on, like, how old is the guy gonna be? Like, years and years and years away from the game. They're gonna start using every excuse in the book. Like, come on, like. So it's basically
I felt bad for him.
He made his decision though. Like, I'm sure he knew there was a chance with it's not like the NBA. NBA is a little bit different in terms of like the people up top and what, like, I feel like the NFL, they're more into that type of realm of they're not going to stand for something like that. Like, so I feel like he kind of had an idea like this could go bad, where he could. I don't know if he really thought he was going to lose everything, but I knew he knew there was a chance that he could get blackballed out of the league for it, because like, we think that something like that is okay, but there are the conservatives in the world who really are like, you know what, like, the flag, you stand for the flag, all that stuff is a really big deal to them. So they were going to be really, really, really disrespected by the idea of someone kneeling. So I knew he knew. That's why he thought of the kneeling idea was going to be so powerful, because like, this is something that is to the depths of our country. So like, if he's taking a stand towards that for what he believes in in terms of police brutality, then obviously he felt like that would be a strong enough stand in action that could make a difference. And like I think he was, I can't speak for him, but I think he accepted like, all right, I could either be deemed as a hero and keep my career, or I'll be deemed as a hero but also get blackballed. Like either way, I'm gonna do what I believe in. Which was what I wasn't strong enough to do at the time, because like I knew it was something that I believed in, but I was like, I still want a chance to be a college athlete and stuff. So I just said, forget it.
Yeah, and we already knew that there were going to be people too. Like they saw us do that. Like,
oh, I was confident.
You already know, like
we were gonna get booted that day of. Miller gonna tell me to hand my stuff in. Get out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I already knew.
Yeah. So what do y'all think if someone as big as LeBron did it? What do you think the consequences would be? Yeah, like all you guys.
I think if LeBron did it in the NBA, there would be like 100 other NBA players doing it.
At least.
Yeah. So do I.
That's why I feel like he should. I mean, he doesn't have to, because this is LeBron here. I know LeBron fans, you know, they believe Bron is, you know, all knowing, and he, you know, does no wrong, and he's the mind of an angel and all this stuff. But I believe that was a complete business decision for LeBron. I think he thought about it and he knew that yes, he would take a stand, but something like that, he's gonna lose a lot of fans for that. Like, let's not get it twisted here. Like, he has a lot of fans who believe taking a kneel is, you know, criminal. So he thought about it calculatedly and said, you know what, I'm gonna support Kaepernick, but I'm not actually gonna kneel because I don't want to, and I don't blame him for that. I just think that's what it was. It's what it is. It's his money on the line. It's his fame on the line. It's his reputation on the line. Like, he can do what he wants, but I'm not gonna sit here and like think it's anything other than a business decision what he did. Like, that's just me.
Definitely, LeBron did it. The whole league would have did it, because there's no way that the NBA can do anything to keep LeBron out of the league. Because if that happened, they losing everything.
Especially at the time. Think about the time when Kaepernick did that. What are you talking? 2015? What year was that? Were we in high school when he first did it?
I think he was in college when he first.
No, we were in college.
Yeah, right.
I think it was my freshman year.
You're talking about the peak LeBron. You're talking about, if they try to treat LeBron like Kaepernick, you're talking about these last 5 years of LeBron. So 16 championship LeBron. He was the NBA. Steph Curry, but he was the NBA. Like, they could not afford. He was sports. They could not have. He still is.
Oh yeah.
They can't afford to blackball him the way they do Kaepernick.
Yeah, that was my main point. Like, someone like as big as him, if he does it, you know, there's not going to be like the big consequences as if someone like Kaepernick did it.
Yeah.
Besides him losing fans and people thinking it's controversial.
And forget about NBA. Yeah, there's going to be 100 NBA guys, but if LeBron did it, I think Anthony Dassin around the world would have thought about it a lot more if LeBron's doing it. And you know, a football like the Malcolm Carey might think about it, or like the D2 player here, D1 player there. Around all sports, a lot more people would do it if they see their complete heroes doing it.
Yeah.
It'd be because he would have said it in messages like everybody else could do it too. Like, so like I could see it being a whole domino effect. And if everyone around the world is doing it, now how much pull does Alvernia have? They still might try to mess up, but like it'll be a whole different aspect. Like Kaepernick just was. I mean, he's a big name, but it's just the power level isn't the same for Kaepernick as it is for other people. Like,
I remember sophomore year, I had a debate. It was brought up because we were talking about what was going on, like current events in the world and whatnot. I remember I had a debate with a professor, which led into me, a couple classmates versus the professor and others. It was like a small class. It was like 10, and like it was like 7. It was like 7 saying he shouldn't do it and 3 saying it's fine. And the fact that we had a debate then, and this is still the results we're having now, I think speaks volumes to it, that their excuse was, oh, like that's not patriotic. I mean, I think of it the other way. If you're an American, Colin Kaepernick American, trying to make a change for the better, and him taking a knee or kneeling during the national anthem, I don't think that makes him any less un-American than us standing, because he's literally trying to better the country and bring attention to an issue. And like I said, I remember vividly having this debate with the professor. I think it was like sophomore or junior year. And the fact that we're still having shit like this happen with police officers. And like Dote mentioned, obviously not all police officers are bad. We have good ones. But the fact is, this shit is still going on. That's all you need to know. Whether he was like about him being right or wrong, or because that's the biggest issue. He's not making you, like, if you want to stand, that's fine. Like Tar, you said, if you want to stand, you can stand. If you want to knee, you can knee. He's not telling you you have to take a knee. And that was like the most mind-boggling thing for me. Or the other quote was, do a different event to bring more light to it. I don't think anything's going to bring – I think that was like the perfect spot to do it as far as bringing attention. It's literally 4:15, night games, prime time. You see somebody like Colin Kaepernick at the time, one of the bigger stars in the NFL, taking a knee, bringing attention to a subject, you're going to see it then. That was like the whole thing that had me so angry back then. And like I said, just looking at it now, it's like we're still in the same spot, if not worse. There's been like 4 racial things that happened just this month.
Yeah, you just said that, like, pick a different like event to like do it at, or something, like, or a different, like, something like different, like don't do it during the national anthem. He specifically pointed out exactly what he was protesting, why he was kneeling. Like, he's protesting police brutality. It had nothing. And then like other people are going out there saying he's disrespecting the military. And there's definitely some that felt like they're being disrespected, but then there was some that felt like, yeah, he's highlighting something that's really going on, like, today, like, that people are really trying to downplay, like it's not going on at all. Like, I think it was perfect. Like, he's doing it during primetime NFL games where everyone's watching, all eyes are on him, and like it got a conversation going. But it still hasn't provided any like real results. And I think that just shows that we need more.
Yeah, like, to elaborate on what you guys said, like, I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand all people who may feel a real strong feeling towards the flag and all the whole pledge and all that stuff. I understand, but I just feel like they use that to take away, like, if you think it's the whole flag is something that you're just so big on and whatever, but they use that to take away from his actual message, which is what really upset me. Like, these people would talk about this flag and kneeling and, oh my gosh, the history behind the country and all this stuff, but you're forgetting what he's talking about. Like, you're just completely ignoring what he's talking about. Like, they're spinning
it for their own agenda. Like what you said is the most annoying thing. It's like, that's not the point. It's not the point. It's literally not.
Yeah, it's crazy to me, man. It was crazy. Like, you see people's true feelings and agendas in this world, in this country, when you have situations like that. Like, this stuff going on. We had videos at the time and still today of African Americans in this country getting completely, like, wrongfully done towards, and then we're trying to take a stand towards it, and these guys aren't even acknowledging it. They're just like, oh, he's the flag. It's so disrespectful, but they won't even talk about anything that we're discussing. I'm like, you not see what he's talking about? The way they're reacting is literally what he was talking about. It's like, you guys, this stuff is going on. He's trying to make a message about it, and you guys are literally ignoring the message. Like,
it's the same guys who have, like, who still drive around their trucks that have Confederate flags popping out the back. Like,
I don't understand.
Something's getting sooner or later. Like,
seriously, I don't get it.
Getting ridiculous. But yeah, I fear is never gonna be fully solved. I just solve this issue solved fully. People who can solve it, which no offense, like the police force and everyone in America, the higher ups, their whole argument is gonna be always, oh, like you look at the numbers, it's not that it's a small percentage of this actually happening. But I'm like, yes, I understand that. But the percentage of it actually happening shouldn't be happening. That's the problem. Like we shouldn't be worried about, oh, it's only a small percentage. We should be worried about why is there a percentage at all? Like that's what they're not understanding. They're just like, like it's not the same thing with the people who talk about COVID. They're like, oh, with COVID, you look at the percentage of Americans it's actually affecting, it's not that high. I'm like, all right, but we could make it a lower percentage. So why wouldn't we? Like that, like I never understand that whole argument about it's not that big a percentage for police brutality or for COVID.
Shouldn't matter.
Why not worry about it? Like, no, it could be a smaller percentage. Like, why not help it so it doesn't happen at all?
No one's gonna care. No one's gonna care about it until it actually happens to them. Until they actually put in that situation and they lose somebody because of that. Then they're gonna actually see, oh wow, this is actually wrong. Like, I mean, you can't. I don't understand. People don't react until something happens to them.
Like, though, I remember those days, man, we were having these arguments. Not you, but like just my friends that would have these arguments about this. And like, not really arguments, but just discussions about it. And I used to tell them like how I felt, like as I was driving around. Like I used to really drive around, and I would be scared of getting pulled over just for those specific reasons. I'm like, man, like if I get pulled over, who knows what's gonna happen? Like, and they would tell me like, yeah, my white friends, no offense, like you guys are white, no offense. My white friends would literally be like, they don't know what I'm talking about. Like they never experienced that. And I'm like, yeah, that's the problem. You guys don't understand where I'm coming from. Like, not you guys, just like the people that are just don't care about the situation. I'm like, you don't know what it's like to literally be driving and be like worried that like, if this, I should not, the cops supposed to be a sense of security. Like I should not be worried about getting pulled over by the cops because of what they're going to do to me. Like if I don't even have anything going on, like I don't have drugs or I don't have a weapon that I'm going to like, I'm just driving and I'm worried if I'm over the speed limit that something can happen to me. Like that should not be a worry in a young man's mind at 18, 19, 20, any age.
And I don't want to have to grow up and have to have these discussions with my kids on what they can and can't say to the cops, how they supposed to act in front of the cops. Like, don't just have your hands up at all times. Don't reach for anything. And like, just like it's why and a lot of these TV shows like are having like situations like inside the TV show where they're highlighting it. Like I was watching All American and like they had a scene like a specific scene like where they were like where everyone was being like where they got judged in the ice cream store and then the cops got called on them and then the cop was literally about to shoot a little boy. Like he was about to shoot the little boy. Like I don't understand.
When I was talking with a couple of my friends tonight about it, and we started like going in on a rant about the white people online. Like you see it all the time, and you'll see the people like, oh, like it's not like they get mad that the white people are being like generalized, but like they don't like imagine just like what you said, Tar. Imagine just driving or going to school and having the fear for your life because of a cop or something like that. Like that's where it just doesn't make sense that like we just need to take a look in the mirror and see what we can do to fix it rather than going online and tweeting and arguing about being white when you don't understand what it's like to step a foot in any other in like being black or anything like that. Like it's just that's what really gets me going too. It's like they could that's literally what these things happen, going to a store or getting stopped for a random like speed check or something like that. Like it's I don't know.
And this reminds me of the other thing that happens that also is an issue, like school shootings too. They try to throw the numbers out for that sometimes, and I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Like, you guys gonna talk about how small of a percentage of that actually happening, but like you're saying that parents shouldn't be worried about the fact that there's literally still a chance that a child that can be involved in a school shooting? Like why aren't we worried about fixing that? Instead, they worry about, oh, what if that actually happens? I don't know what you guys, but when I was in school, they're like, if this were to actually happen, this is what we would do. But they would never talk about why it happens and how the heck we could figure out what's going on with these kids to help them. They would just, all right, if it happens, first of all, if a school, not to get off topic, but if a school shooting happens and you're going over if a school shooting were to happen, where we'd be, how we try to avoid the shooter, and what our protocol would be. But the school shooting happens with a kid who's in the school. So wouldn't they be there to know your protocol?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just worry about more than that? Even more than that, I would worry about avoiding it at all costs. That's what I'm not a genius, but that's what when I put my brain cells together and think of what I would be worried about in that situation, I would think about how can I avoid and like help these kids out so that none of these kids think of wanting a school up. Is that not crazy? Pay as much attention as possible to these kids. So if there is one who just happens to be completely insane, we can get them help. And then the ones who aren't crazy, but they actually are going through things that make them think of that stuff, help them out, like help everyone out, rather than only worrying about if it were to happen. Like, I never understood that either. Like, there's so many issues in America that I feel like instead of worrying about completely solving the issue, they just they don't really worry about it. That's just me. But yeah, sorry.
They kind of try to tolerate the story, or like try to create like ifs, like if this were to happen, like instead of just completely, like you said, completely just eliminate it, like just eliminate the possibility of this even happening. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's crazy world we live in today. Yeah, that you even have to have that discussion. Like,
Reed, you have a weird look.
Crazy.
You have anything to say?
No, I'm just deep in thought. It's just.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had like a huh. My bad.
No, it was a mix of the thought and the smoke going back in my eyes. But yeah, it's like you guys said, we're just literally repeating steps of society and people, and nothing's changing, and it's
annoying.
It's just frustrating. Like I don't know. Us fellows here at the Good Guys Rant podcast would like to use this time to give a shout out to another sponsor of the podcast, and Mr. Darren Coswell. If you're in the Reading or Berks area and looking to sell or buy a house, look no further than Darren Coswell of Remax of Reading. Since graduating college in 1992, Darren has been involved in service industries from retail to insurance to real estate. He will be with you every step of the way. For more information, head to calldarren.com for more info. Again, that is calldarren.com. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This was episode 3. We got in a couple more topics than we thought we would, but obviously felt they were important at the time. Please feel free to follow our social medias on Twitter and Instagram, and stay up to date for the next episodes, and as well as the questionnaires that go out about fan mail or what you guys want us to talk about.
Yeah, just stay tuned. We got a special guest coming on our next episode. We should have a lot of fun going on.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.
Stay tuned. Peace.
Safe.